Okay, so we are starting in on the warm-up number 3. Please try this on your own and then come back and check with me. The first one, we're going to do some distributive properties. So we're going to take this -3 and we're going to distribute it to both items inside that parentheses. So I have 40 plus, oof, my pen's not working, plus 5m minus the 3m, and then -3 times 11 is -33. Now we're going to combine like terms. So I have both of them right here, actually, are both m's. So we're going to combine those. 5m minus 3m gives me 2m. And then I have a 40 and a -33. The sign in front of a number goes with it. So 40 minus 33 would be plus 7. And I'm done. The next one, write the expression for the perimeter, P equals 2L plus 2 widths, and the area is equal to length times width of the rectangle. Well, first thing I would do is find this length right here. And I would say 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times the 4 is plus 12. So I would say my length is equal to 3x plus 12, and my width is 5. Now, knowing that, I can substitute in those values and solve it for the perimeter. So perimeter is equal to 2, the length, which ends up being this part, 3x plus 12, plus 2, and then the width of 5. Oops. And then simplify those. So now again, I have to do some more distributive property. So I end up with 6x plus 24, because 2 times 12 is 24, plus 2 times 5 is 10. And then combine like terms. So combining like terms, I would put these two together. So I'd have a 6x plus 34. And this would be units. There we go. For the area, I'm going to say area is equal to my length, which happens to be the 3x plus 12, times my width of 5. Even though the 5 is on the back end, I'm still multiplying it, so it's still going to be distributive property. So the area is equal to 15x plus 5 times 12 is 60. And this would be units squared. Write an equation showing the sum of 3 consecutive integers is 63. Now, we talked about this in class, but I'll go ahead and I'll give it to you here as well, because you might need it, like if you're rewatching this after the lesson, or if you're watching this prior to the lesson. The idea is that we have 3 consecutive integers. So for instance, if I were to have 4, 5, and let's say 6, they're in a row, right, consecutive. So let's say this was x. Well, if x is 4, to get to 5, I would have to do x plus 1. And to get a 6, I'd have to do an x plus 2, because 4 plus 2. So as I'm going with my consecutive integers, I'm going to say, not this per se, we're going to say we have an x is equal to the first, x plus 1 is equal to the second, and an x plus 2 is equal to our third. So x plus x plus 1 plus x plus 2 equals my total of 63. This being my first number, my second number, and my third number. When you combine like terms, you end up with 3x plus 3 equals 63. Solve the problem and you'll end up with minus 3 minus 3. So 3x oh, my pen battery is low. Well, once you know. So 3x is equal to 60. Divide both sides by 3. And I get that x equals 20. So now if I know that x is equal to 20, x plus 1 is going to be equal to 21. And x plus 2 is going to be equal to 22. And if I add 20, 21, and 22, I get 63. Okay, so we're going to solve each of these, and as I look at this, solve each equation, show the necessary work. So try these. These are two-steppers for the most part. I'll remind you that it's parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, add, and subtract. Well, if I go this direction, that's when I'm simplifying. When I want to solve, though, I'm going to go in the other direction. Let me fix that real quick. Going down is simplify. If I want to solve, I'm going to go up. So I'm going to start with the side of the variable, and I'm looking for adding or subtracting to eliminate it, and then undoing the multiplication after that. So on this one, I have here's my line down. Over here, I have a plus 2. So I'm going to get rid of that plus 2 by going minus 2, minus 2. So I should have 3x is equal to 15. And then divide by 3 on both sides, because I'm getting rid of multiplication by doing division, and then x is equal to 5. Over on the next one, I'm going to put my line down the middle. I need to undo this adding 3, so minus 3 from both sides, and I get 4x is equal to negative 8, and divide by 4 on both sides, so x is equal to negative 2. Number 3, I can do one of two things. One way of doing this problem is distributing, and I would end up with 3x minus 15 equals 9. And then I can add 15 to both sides. And so I get 3x is equal to, well, 15 plus 9 is 24. And then divide by 3, x is equal to 8. Another way of doing that exact same problem would be, I'm going to just write it out here, equals 9. This is actually multiplication. These are factors. So I could divide by 3 on both sides. And I end up with an x minus 5 is equal to 9 divided by 3 is 3. Now I can add my 5 to both sides. Kind of keeps my numbers a little bit smaller. And x again equals 8. Either way, x does equal 8. Next one, same thing over here. I could distribute that, and I'm going to work with a fraction. I personally would go times 7 times 7. That cancels this guy out. Get rid of that fraction. I'm left with x plus 7 equals 70. Take away 7 from both sides. And I get x is equal to 63. The other way of doing that with the distributive property would have given me 1/7 times x plus 7 equals 10. I would end up with 1/7 x plus 1 equals 10. Take away 1, take away 1. So now 1 over 7, x is equal to 9. Now times 7 on both sides, and I get x is equal to 63. Either way, it works just fine. Same thing on this one. If I do the distributive first, I'm going to end up with 2/3 x minus, well, this is going to be 2/3 times 8 over 1, right? Equals 12. So this gives me 2/3 x minus, multiply across, I'm going to get 16/3 equals 12. Now I'm kind of in a world of like, I've got fraction world, so I'm going to get rid of my fractions by multiplying the entire thing by 3. Now I'd have 2x minus 16 equals 36. Basically, I'm just multiplying everything by 3. Now I can go plus 16. It really kind of makes it long, this one. 2x is equal to 52, and then divide by 2. X is equal to 26. Now that's one way. The other way, the way I actually like doing it, would be 2/3 times an x minus 8 equals 12. I would like to take this and go times 3/2 times 3/2. This reduces this fraction to where it's gone. It's 1. Now I have x minus 8 equals, now over here I can multiply across and then divide, or I could cross reduce. So I could reduce. 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 12 6 times. 6 times 3 is 18. We made a oopsie daisy somewhere here. Let's see, what do we do? 3 times this is 36. Okay, let's kind of keep on going here. Let's see what we got, because right now I'm like, wait, this is 18. But let's go ahead and finish it out. If I add 8 to both sides, what happens here? X is equal to, oh wait, there it is, 26. Either way it works. I like this one's a little bit shorter. This one just takes longer, and I have to work with my fractions a little bit longer. We do need to probably work on clearing fractions, though. This part, low battery there too. This part I told you to work on these in class. We kind of will work on them. But for the most part, look at, I would suggest you take the problem and say 2x minus 9 equals 10. Solve it, then decide who you, based on their answers, who you agree with, and answer the questions below. The next part, solve each one of these. Be prepared to explain your reasoning. So show your work. So take away 6, take away 6. I get x is equal to 58. Here, this means I'm going to add. So it's going to be x plus 4 is equal to negative 6. Take away 4 from both sides. X is equal to negative 10. Showing your work justifies your answer. Here, I would either divide by 2 and then add 1, or else I could distribute. Your choice. Most of you, I believe, are still distributing. So 2x minus 2 equals negative 200. Add 2, add 2. 2x is equal to negative 198. X is equal to negative 99. And the last one, this one lined down the middle. First of all, this would give me negative 29. Over here, I end up with 2x. Plus a negative here means minus. And then add 3 to both sides. So now I end up with 2x is equal to negative 26. Divide both sides by 2. X is equal to negative 13. This is your homework. With your homework, I'd like you to do that. And then after you finish your homework, after you've tried it, then you can check your answers with me.